find a way.
Pablo, you're here in Bristol for the big PPA tournament, and it's so exciting to have people that are the best in the world at what they do, and I'm excited to hear about your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, yeah. So your story begins in Bogota, Colombia.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
take me back. Take me back to where it starts.
Well, Bogota is a huge city. I think we have around 12 million people in like a 30-mile radius, so it's pretty crowded.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I grew up in a sporty family. My dad was a soccer player. My older brothers, they play sports since they were little, so I got into sports really quick. Play a lot of soccer growing up, and then I got into tennis. It kept me off the bad crowds, bad friends.
Yeah.
So
How young were you when you started playing tennis?
I started playing it when I was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually played more soccer than tennis until I was maybe 14.
So in Colombia, soccer it's like breathing, right? Like
It's huge.
everybody plays.
Everybody.
Just a part of the fabric of the
Yeah.
culture. So was it just unstructured? You'd go out in the street and play soccer.
Yeah, so the way it works is you go to school, you get 3 breaks in school, and we had one soccer field. So you have like 200 kids in one soccer field. So you're playing every break. It's one goal, and whoever loses is out. So you wanna win, you wanna get better, and it just, since you're a kid, you become very competitive in that sense. And then you get off school and you go play with your friends, and then eventually you join the team. So it's all soccer from school to night, pretty much.
All ages?
All ages. All
Yeah.
ages. But yeah, it starts pretty young.
Well, we want to talk about pickleball, but I'm not going to miss an opportunity to talk a bit about the soccer in Colombia. So, man, that's something that kids are missing in America, is that unstructured kind of environment. And we talk a lot about that as soccer coaches in America. Because everything here is for kids is so structured. Like they don't go out and play in the neighborhood anymore.
Yeah.
Like they play kids that are their own age, and the uniforms and referees, and it's all so structured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think as a country, we can't capture that magic, that the improvisation and the creativity and the
I
personality.
think maybe you see it a little more in basketball, what you're talking about. Because I was in New York City, and they have some, public courts, and you see some more people of different ages going at it.
Yeah.
But you don't see it much with soccer or tennis or any other sport.
Yeah. You have to, in that environment, you have to learn how to survive.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to learn to fight.
Yeah, and you automatically become competitive because you're playing with older kids than you. They're pushing you. They're talking to you since you're a little kid.
Yeah.
So you become a little bit independent in that sense.
And no parents, no adults there to protect you. You have to figure it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. I have an older brother, so
yeah.
So he always had my back. But yeah.
Yeah. And your father was a professional footballer, right?
Yeah, my dad played soccer his whole life, and he played in Santa Fe, which is one of the most important Colombian teams.
Yeah.
And then he got us into soccer since we were kids. But yeah, he was a great soccer player.
Yeah.
His body is pretty messed up from it, but yeah.
So how did you started with soccer? How did you discover tennis?
Yeah, so we used to, once we were like 7 or 8, we started going to this soccer training facility that had tennis courts right next to it. So we would play soccer, and then we would see like people playing tennis, and we were like, oh, it looks fun. So we started playing during the weekends, and we started doing pretty good at some local tournaments, and we were like, oh, we gotta play this more. And just like that, it evolved, and eventually it became more tennis than soccer, and then soccer we lifted pretty much.
What did tennis give you that soccer did?
Well, there are two things. One is an individual sport, so whether you win or lose depends more on you. And in soccer, sometimes you can do everything right and you still lose because you depend on your teammates a lot. While tennis is all about yourself, and also in tennis, I think there are more like there's a tournament every weekend, every other weekend, so you get a trophy if you win every other weekend. While in soccer, it's usually a season long, so that kind of satisfaction is a little bit quicker in tennis. So I think that was one of the things that for me made a difference at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that the competition fire has always burned.
Yeah, always, always. And sometimes I think about it like now, like, because for me it was always about winning. And I think sometimes you should take a step back from winning and focus more on progress when it comes to your game and how you develop your technique and all that. Because sometimes you can win playing ugly, but over the long term, that's probably not the right thing for you for your game. And that's something that I personally experienced in tennis. I was really good until I was maybe 16, just because I would scramble. I would find a way to win in any way I could.
Yeah.
But because of it, I didn't develop some of the tools that long term would have helped me to be a better player once you come of a higher age.
Yeah, we see that with a lot of athletes in soccer. If they're athletic, it's almost like a curse.
Yes, it could be,
because you can get away with your athleticism until you can't.
I think that's where good coaching is a big difference. Someone that has that vision in a way.
Yeah, and doing and teaching the right things when you're young.
Yes,
like the fundamentals.
It's
like
so key.
So hard to get coaches to focus on the fundamentals when they're little, especially in America. There's such a pressure to win.
That's what I'm saying. Because you focus on winning, then you forget about, am I developing the right thing? Once everybody levels up, is this gonna help me?
Do you see that? Do you see the same problem in Colombia, or do you think that's uniquely American?
I see it everywhere. I think, and it really comes to coaching, because when you're a kid, you don't really know. You kind of, if you're a good kid, you do what they tell you to do, and they tell you just find a way, just figure it out, and you do. But what at some point it's not enough. So you gotta develop everything.
Yeah.
So
with the tennis scene back, like in America, tennis is a very typically upper class sport.
Yes.
And most kids don't have access to tennis in America. Is it similar? Is it similar back home?
Exactly the same.
Is it really? Yeah.
Everybody plays soccer because it's very accessible. Usually cheaper to get into an academy. But tennis it's a lot more expensive. Tournaments are expensive. You gotta travel. Coaching is expensive because it's usually only 2 or 3 people paying one coach instead of 22 kids like in soccer. But we got lucky. Not lucky, really. Where we were training tennis, we would pay, I remember it was $10 a month. But it was 2 hours away from our house. So my brother and I would take the bus 2 hours from school to get there, and then 2 hours back at night to get back to our place. So it was a little bit of a sacrifice, but it was the only place we could afford. So it was the only way we could have coaching and training. Otherwise, the academies were so expensive. My parents couldn't do it.
So how old were you when you were taking a bus by yourself?
7, 8. Yeah. I mean, I was lucky again that my brother is older. He's 4 years older than me, so he was 12. So it was him and me, always in the bus, always in the streets. But we grew up like that, and I think it becomes a part of you. You just kind of become very aware of things when you're a kid, and it helps you.
Tell me more about that, because one of my criticisms of just American culture right now is parents are so protective.
Yeah.
Right? Like the thought of a 7 or 8 year old taking a public bus 2 hours away in
Yeah.
America is unthinkable.
Yeah. No, and I understand it in a way if you want to protect your kid and want them to have the best. But at the same time, I think for us, even not only to go to training, we would take the bus to go to school because my parents were working before we had to go to school. So we would walk to the station and just go take the bus. And you develop your own thing. Even sometimes my brother and I didn't even have enough money for both of our tickets. We would ask the bus driver if he could do 2 for 1. And you just kind of develop little things. You don't want to sit in the corner. When you're a kid, you want to probably sit close to the bus driver in case something happens. You never sleep. You just become a little bit careful. At the same time, you're always looking. And yeah, I mean, for us, it was normal. But looking back and looking now that I'm in the States, it's so different for sure.
Yeah. It had to have given you, kids seem to lack confidence. But what you learned is survival. You learn survival skills when you have that kind of independence when you're young.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the way. Survival skills. I didn't know. For me, it was normal.
Aware of it.
For us, it was extremely normal. I mean, you always knew you're walking, you're looking, you see something weird, you stay away. If you gotta fight, you fight. But you just do it. So until I came here, I didn't know it was something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's why we like it here. You just a lot more relaxed in everything.
Yeah.
You walk on the street, you have your phone out, you sleep on the bus, on the train. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're young here. Like you're 7, 8, 9, and you're traveling after school, you're getting on the bus, you're going 2 hours, you're training.
Yeah.
You're coming back. So you were grinding at a young age. Like this is
Yeah.
But you enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it because we love sport, and at the same time, our parents pushed us to do it. We didn't grow up in upper class or anything like that, so I guess now looking back, it kept us from bad crowds, bad friends. So for them it was nice because we would go to school, go to practice, come back home, eat and sleep. So we didn't really have any time to get into any trouble.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like you said, at the same time, we were developing some survival skills. We were getting into sports. So it was for my parents that were so busy, they kind of didn't really had to worry about us because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's certainly advantages for kids growing up in the States. But I do think I think American kids lose something from, like, you're really having to work to get to the training. Like there's no entitlement there.
Yeah.
Like nothing is given to you.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be a different kind of appreciation for the game.
Yeah.
That if it had all been given to you when you were 7 and 8, and somebody put your name on the back of your jersey and gave you all the equipment you needed when you were 7 and 8, that adversity has to contribute.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah.
It keeps you humble, and at the same time, it makes you kind of want, like, if you're doing it, it's because you really want it.
Yeah.
If you didn't like the sport, you wouldn't drive 2 hours, you wouldn't walk, you wouldn't be home at 10 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you do this, you continue this through your teenage years?
Yeah. My entire life until I came to America. I think the only thing that changed was where the training was. But that was about it. My brother left when I was 13. He came to America for college. So I continued by myself. Then the same thing. Once I was 17, I just came to America for college.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience of having the option to leave for America and making that decision with your family?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at first the tough part was to change the mindset, because in my mind, I thought I was gonna be a professional tennis player. I didn't think I was gonna come to college. But like you said, at 16-ish, 17, I realized that my game hadn't developed the way it needed, and I could have given it a try, and I was doing pretty good. But at the same time, tennis is extremely expensive at the pro level. If you want to travel, it's a weekly $1,500 at least, plus training, plus you're not making money until you're in the top 200 or so. So all of the expense is not being repaid. And so for us, it was an easy decision after that to just go to college. But from there, again, for me, it was easier because my brother was already here. So he kind of made a lot of mistakes that I didn't have to go through.
Yeah.
And for me, it was an easy decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you come to the States, you're able to continue your education and continue to play.
Yeah.
What surprised you? What surprised you most about America?
I think, like I said, just how much different the lifestyle is. Just a lot more chill in a way, and also how the mindset is different. It's not as much about survival. There is there is enjoyment. There's also more ambition when we come from Colombia, because it's about making meets end. You don't think that much about, or you don't have that many options. So if there is a job, you take it. If they offering you this much, you take it.
You don't have the options.
I think Americans are better in terms of they're offering me this here, but I feel like I deserve more than that, and then you get more than that. And for me, that wasn't a thing. Even when I get into pickleball, I'm like, oh, you're offering me this. That's amazing. I'll take it. And then I would talk to someone, and they're like, oh, no, I wouldn't take that. So that change of mindset, because you come from somewhere where there aren't that many options, I think that was a big shift.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I've never heard it. I've never heard it explained that way, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think that's where Americans have a big advantage over us. Is you don't settle in a way.
Yeah, and America's a big place. Like, one of the problems here in East Tennessee and Appalachia is it's not necessarily one of the things that Appalachian kids struggle with is they don't dream big enough.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And so your dreams are often the size of your dreams, I think, are often dictated by the people that you are influenced by.
Yes, for sure.
And if you're not around ambitious people, your dreams can be too small, and you can settle.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like it resonates with me, because I think that's part of the downside of being from an area like this. We just don't dream big enough.
Yeah, I think it's similar back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get here, and it's got to be culture shock.
Oh, it was crazy. I didn't speak English at all. I went to a place in North Florida. It's called Jacksonville, and I get there, and I'm having to record my classes because I'm not understanding anything the teachers are telling me.
There's no Google Translate.
Google Translate is no good for my work assignments or anything. I'm trying to talk to these beautiful American blonde girls, brunettes, and I just can't because I don't speak the language. So the first 6 months were rough, in that sense. But because
you're in your first semester.
First semester,
university.
I'm still 17, I think.
Away from home.
Yeah, and everything is new. I've never been to a cafeteria. I'm super happy that there is a buffet everywhere. So I'm there all the time, and I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out. But I'm happy because I see that it's a much better place than where I come from. And I got lucky that all of my teammates from the tennis team, who pretty much becomes your friends automatically,
Sure.
none of them were Latinos. Nobody spoke Spanish, so I didn't have a choice but to learn. So I think after 6 months I was much better than when I started, and a year later much even better. So I have a lot of friends that went to school in South Florida that still speak a worse English than me, and I know mine is not the best, but I feel like I made myself understood pretty quickly, and I was able to figure it out because I didn't have the chance to speak Spanish. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Like international students that come to the States to study and play sports. Like, it's amazing that you guys are able to navigate sports, academics, and learn the language in the process.
Yeah.
Like that's real adversity. But so you 4 years of college tennis?
4 years of college tennis. I ended up transferring from North Florida to West Florida after my first year, and then I finished in West Florida my entire career. Yeah.
Were you what was the plan during college? Like, did you have non-sport ambitions, or were you still focused on tennis?
Honestly, I was in between. I was still trying to see if I could improve and make my tennis career longer. But at the same time, I didn't know what to study, so I was figuring it out. And then after my second or third year, I realized that I probably wasn't good enough to play professional tennis. So I focused more in school. I majored in finance and in economics, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. I did a couple internships, but then I realized that I didn't really enjoy the workplace. I really like understanding the market and how economies move and what makes them thrive or fall and all that. But in practice, it's a lot different than it is in theory, and I didn't really enjoy that. So once I graduated, I went back to sport.
Okay. So what did that look like?
So I graduated, and I had done a 6-month internship where I was working in finance, but I didn't like just looking at Excels and markets and trying to figure out numbers. So I contacted a friend that was a coach on the tour when I was still playing, and he had settled in Naples, Florida. So I ended up going there, and I started coaching tennis there. And I ended up coaching tennis for maybe 5-6 years.
Did the coaching scratch the competitive itch that you had from playing?
Yeah. I think at the time I didn't really want to play tennis that much anymore. The thing with tennis, and I'm sure with soccer is the same, is if you're not constantly practicing, your level drops automatically. It drops very quickly. And so when you play, you don't enjoy it as much because you were playing at a high level that you're not anymore. So you can almost get frustrated because you can't play the way you used to.
Yeah.
So you realize that, okay, now I gotta focus on, and coaching is completely different. So you have to learn how to talk to people, how to communicate the things that you know, but that before were just natural. So you really didn't think, oh, how do I actually hit a forehand? And then you start recognizing the mechanics and stuff like that. So it's a completely mindset shift in a way.
Yeah. So at some point you discover a pickleball paddle.
I do. Yeah. So Naples, Florida is known for pickleball.
Yeah.
Even when I just arrived in 2018, the club that I got to, they already had 6 pickleball courts. And pickleball, it wasn't as big as it is right now, but in Naples it was. Every club had pickleball courts. Every public park had pickleball courts. So I would play after work. It became my hobby. And also a way to meet people. The pickleball community is amazing everywhere I've been. It's just an easy way to meet different people, meet friends, hang out. So that was what I did.
When you picked up the pickleball paddle for the first time, do you remember it? Do you remember that moment? Do you remember did it resonate with you immediately, or is it something that you just had to grow into?
No, I had to grow into it because I didn't, like, the first time I played was a tournament. and I thought I was gonna dominate because I came from tennis, and that wasn't the case at all. I got destroyed, and there was money, so all the good players were there, and they were actually practicing. So I realized, oh wow, this is actually a lot tougher than it looks. So that's when I started taking it more serious and playing more often, and I was like, oh, okay. And the good thing with pickleball is you see progress really quick, and that actually keeps you engaged. So aside from the fun and all that, also when you see improvement, it makes you happy in a way. So that was it.
How did pickleball challenge you in ways that tennis didn't? Like how's it different?
For me, I think it was a way to start over the right way, because that's something that I was regretted with tennis. Like I said, I felt like I had the tools. They call it talent-wise, but when I say talent, it's just basically you have some kind of ability that can to translate, but if you don't do the right things, it won't. That's what happened to me in tennis. And so I figured when I started playing pickleball, I wanted to do it the right way. So I started trying to develop my technique right, trying to understand the game the right way, and not just blast my way through people, which I could. Because when you come from tennis, you know you can just go, but
just overpower people.
Eventually, it wouldn't work. So,
but were you self-aware enough of that at that point to know that just using tennis power was not going to get you where you wanted to go?
Yeah, well, at the beginning, it was just a hobby, like I said. But
because pickleball was different. Like, this is 2018.
This is 2018 already.
Yeah,
2018.
So pickleball's not nearly as developed at that point.
No, not at all. But in Naples, you had a lot of good players. At the time, the best player in the world was Kyle Yates. Yeah, he used to live in Naples. Ben Jones used to live in Naples, and then the Pickleballer, who was also, they were there. Catherine, Parento, and Simone, they were all in Naples, and they played the right way, and the right way there was lower than it is now. So in a way, I was able to just see quick what it actually looked like.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you're fortunate to live in a community with the names you just
very
mentioned.
Very fortunate. And I would just play again after work. So I wouldn't drill. I would just go and play, because for me it was fun and it was a hobby. But you still want to win. And so when you want to win against people like that, you have to play or develop the right things. So for me, it was like that for 2 or 3 years.
And you said that it was much more of a soft game.
Yes.
Than now.
A lot more, because the paddles didn't have grit, and there were some powerful paddles, but the ball wouldn't grab. You couldn't pull the trigger from below the net. Yeah, it was harder to put topspin on the ball. So it was all more flat shots, slide shot, stuff like that.
So at what point in that did it turn from a social hobby to something that you thought, man, I could make a career of this?
For me, 2022, I was still working at a country club, and I had met Federico Staksrud. I don't know if you
he was here. He was did the pod yesterday.
Yeah. He's one of my good friends in pickleball. Yeah. And he started way after me, because I've been playing since 2019, just after work and stuff. But he started in 2021, 2022. But 2022, he started traveling all over for the tournaments. At the time, the APP Tour had a lot of tournaments, and the prize money was pretty good. So he was doing that, and he started to have success. And come September or so of 2022, he's pushing me in a way, telling me, hey, you need to give this a try. You're good, and this is probably something you should try. And for me, it was a really tough decision, because at the time my tennis boss, had left the club I was at, and he had gone to a bigger club, and he wanted me to come with him for a really good position. So financially, it was difficult for me to say no and just decide to play pickleball. But I talked with my family and my friends, and everybody agreed like I could go back to coaching tennis anytime. So I decided to give it a try. At the time, the PPA Tour was giving out contracts, and I was lucky enough to do well in the couple tournaments that I played that year. So I had a little bit of a resume, and they gave me a contract that wasn't great, but it kept me afloat. And then 2023, Federico and I decided we were going to play the whole year together. And we actually ended up doing really well. We became probably the third best team in the world. And yeah, 2024 and 2025 has been just grinding and playing tournament.
So what was I'm sure there's a lot, like you climbed to the top. You climbed to the top of a profession.
Yeah.
That's not easy. That is not easy to do. And I admire people that become the best in the world at what they do. None of it's easy. What was the most difficult for you to get from where you started in 2018 to really the top of the world in pickleball?
I think it's very simple in a way. And the reason we were able to do it is because if you look at Federico and I at the beginning of 2023, we weren't good enough to be where we ended up that year. But in pickleball, there was a thing where people didn't take it that serious at the time, and maybe even now. So by us just putting in a lot of time on the court and taking really serious the game and the fitness and everything, we improved a lot faster than other people. And that was the key. And just the discipline to have a routine, to watch tape, to constantly be looking to improve and not be set in your ways. I think that was the key.
You took a really professional approach to it, like discipline, like you treated it like a
from the beginning. From the beginning. I mean, if you're not doing anything else, I went from coaching 10 hours of tennis a day to just playing pickleball. So you're like, what am I gonna do all day? I might as well just practice that, right?
Fed made the comment yesterday. He said, I enjoy competing more. I'm not naturally a practice training kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy competing, and I have to make myself do the training.
Yeah.
Take me back to like you guys, those days where you are really putting in the hours. What does a day look like?
So for me personally, I remember I was doing every day an hour and a half of ball machine.
Okay.
By myself, whether that was early morning or late at night. And then
so an hour and a half you're doing ground stroke. You working on one particular part of your game at a time, or you?
Yeah, we were talking about that with Federico the other day because he made a comment about a shot that I hit. I back in 2023, I didn't know how to hit an ATP at all. I had no idea, and he was really good at it naturally. I think naturally. I don't know if he practiced it. You have to ask him. And one tournament we lost because I couldn't hit an ATP. They were just grinding on my backhand side, giving me that shot, and I just couldn't get out of it. So after that, my daily ball machine routine became just to do 100, 200, 300 balls of ATP. And I figured out, and I feel like my ATP is one of the best in the game now just because of it. So the ball machine focused on that. I realized early for me, because I'm lefty, in a way you're at a disadvantage when it comes to dinking to righties, because the right side dinker can topspin dink you all day, while your backhand is probably going to be mostly a slice. So for me to change that around, the advantage of the lefty is that you can reach more with your backhand that they can with their forehand, just because of how the angles work in pickleball. So I figure if I develop a really good backhand roll, backhand flick, I'm going to be at an advantage when I'm in that matchup or in that setup. So my ball machine routine was a lot about flicks for a while. It was a lot about ATPs for a while. I work a lot on my forehand drive because I wanted my forehand drive to become a lot more aggressive and dangerous. Because when I was playing with Federico is one of those guys that if you hit the ball to him after the return, he probably missed maybe one shot the whole match. He's incredibly consistent. So obviously the team strategy was to hit that first ball to me. But if I'm able to put them in a defense with my first shot, then they're going to feel like it's probably a better option to go to Federico. But in reality, Federico is the one that's going to get us in. So if there wasn't a safe option, it would be good for us. So for me, I developed my game obviously to help my partner, and that's how it works. So that's how the ball machine helped me a lot, just developing things that would complement my game with Federico's at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you grind away on the ball machine. You do 200 repetitions on the same shot.
Yeah.
Do that for an hour and a half. What does the rest of the day look like?
And then we would drill with Federico. We would drill either 2 or 3 hours, then have lunch, and then if we could find a game, we would play a game. If not, we would drill again. And at the time, my girlfriend was also a pickleball player. So if I had time, I would go drill with her again. And for me, it was a lot of practice.
It's a lot of drilling in a day.
It's a lot. But again, we were for us, we were competing against 2 teams that were really ahead of us. You had Ben Jones that's still ahead of the game. So imagine in 2023, he was a lot better than all of us.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find a way to catch up. And then you have J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier, who were almost unbeatable too at the time. And those are the 2 teams that we couldn't beat the whole year. So for us, it was just a constant quest to try and catch up because we knew we were behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were self-aware enough to know your weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, it's not that you're self-aware; it's that the teams exploit them.
They tell you.
This guy cannot hit an ATP, so I'm gonna give him that shot all the time.
Yeah.
And the same with everything. So.
Yeah, pickleball's unforgiving that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to hide a weakness in pickleball.
Yeah.
So how long did this routine? The routine evolved? Like how long did you and Federico?
It changed a lot. It changed a lot because I think I think at the end of 2023 or beginning of 2024, he moved to West Palm, Florida. So we stopped drilling together. I moved eventually to that coast too. But it changed also because we split up. We weren't able to beat those 2 teams that I was telling you about. So we decided we need to part ways, see if we can figure out some other way. It worked out really well for both of us. Obviously better for him. He became number 1. But it changed in the sense that now our routine is different. My routine is different. I don't just drill with someone. I have someone that specifically helps me, kind of like a coach, so that I can specifically work on the things I want to work. Because when you're drilling with someone like Federico, he wants to work on some things. You want to work on some other things. So it's kind of like more of a, you're kind of being, how do you say it? You're just trying to both work on different things, and 2 hours, it's a split. While if you do 2 hours with a coach, it's 2 hours all about you. So it became a little more efficient that way.
Right.
And same with the fitness. For example, I found someone that I feel like really helps me. He works with a lot of the top tennis players. So it just changed in the sense that you become more efficient and more targeted.
Yeah.
But the routine is the same, just drilling, fitness, playing.
So your mentality now, is it still like you're focusing on something you perceive to be a weakness and you're just drilling away on that?
For sure. And for me, what I realize is for me is more mental now. I feel like, because I personally, I've been in maybe over 15 finals, and I haven't been able to get over that hump to win a title. So for me, it's just a matter of how do I mentally prepare to get there. Because before I felt like I didn't have the level. Like we said, these teams were just better than us. But I think the past 6 months to a year, I've been there. So it's just a matter of figuring it out in the mental side. Yeah.
What has pickleball taught you about yourself?
I think pickleball taught me that I can be more disciplined than I thought I was. I'm very, outside of pickleball, I'm very relaxed in a way. Like I'm usually late for dinners and just very laid back. But when it comes to the actual training and practicing and competing, it's the opposite. So I didn't think that I was that way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, looking into the future, what gets you excited now?
For me now, it's feeling like I told you at the very beginning of the podcast, is feeling like I'm playing the way I want to play, instead of having the result. So for me now, these days, what's changed is I'd rather lose playing the way I feel happy instead of winning ugly. And I think my entire life it was the opposite. So that's a big shift for me now. And what I notice is it helps me long term, and it also makes results in a way less important, and just progress more important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fed used very similar language.
Oh really?
Yeah, the process and just embracing the process.
Yeah.
You know, we watch you guys play, and I think, man, if I could play like you guys, I'd be so happy. Like I'd be content. But you never feel that way.
That's the thing. It's so crazy, because when Fer and I split up, I felt like I had to prove myself, because he was obviously the better player in the partnership. He still is the better player. But I did incredibly well that second half of the year after we split up, and I still didn't feel like content with myself. So, and I realized that the moments I did feel like that, it was because I played in a specific way, not because I won, not because I did well, not because I proved people wrong. So for me, it's all about that now. It's just did I step in the court and did what I wanted to do, and that's pretty much it.
So do you come off matches where you feel satisfied? Do you ever feel satisfied coming off of a court?
I don't think satisfied is the right word, because that ambition and that competition is still there.
Yeah.
But it's more like when I look back at that match, am I gonna be proud?
Proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to look at it for me. And that's really how it is, because I would look at matches before that I would win, and I'm like, that was ugly. That was ugly. Like I'm happy that we pulled it off and we figured it out. But I don't want to look at that match ever again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So So for me, it's like if we do the analogy with soccer, it's like I want to play like Barca plays, and I'd rather lose like that than win how Chelsea used to play, where they would put all 11 players in their own house.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
The Mourinho years. Yeah.
So for me, it's like that. It's like that now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what I'm after.
Yeah. You've got a clear vision. Of what it sounds like. You've got a really clear vision of what success looks like for you.
Yeah, I think so.
So. And it's probably come with experience. Like it probably would have been difficult to articulate that 5 years ago.
For sure. And it took some looking back, because like we won the national championship in tennis with my West Florida team, and again, like I didn't feel satisfied about that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way I played back then. I didn't like the way I acted.
Yeah.
So if winning didn't really give you that, then what is? And I figured out that it's just being proud of how you perform, how you play, how you train, how you go around doing things.
Racket sports are such a unique competition, and there's this push and pull between wanting to get better, but then you've got to be happy. At some point, you've got to be happy with the way you play. It's just such a unique world. And what I'm learning from you and Fed the other day is like, in your mind, it's the process. Like you've had to figure out how to find how to find your own success. And he talked about, don't let the last point define you. It's like you have to find out how you define success. Others can't define that for you. And hearing you talk, yours is unique. Like what you just described is unique to you, and that's pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's so when you think when you think about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, do you see yourself in the pickleball industry?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love to play more than anything. And as long as the sport keeps growing and my body holds up, I want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I don't play tennis anymore. I don't enjoy it nearly as much as I enjoy pickleball.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure, and it's so cool to hear your story, your journey to the top, and I wish you the best of luck here in Bristol, the rest of the tournament. But thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Really. It was fun. Thanks a lot.
All right.